Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening. We are continuing over here in the PELE YOETZ, joined by a guest visitor today, my dear son Yeshaya, who's listening live and in person. And the PELE YOETZ writes the following: Koil kavel dana. Anyone that receives pleasantries and pleasant things from Hashem, chayiv adam le'ehav es boiroi ava aza. He's obligated to love his Creator with a very strong love, according to the amount of goodness that a person receives. The more good that a person is able to perceive in their life and recognize, the deeper and the stronger the love has to be between them and Hashem. Ve'yikane ma'oid lefanov, and a person should humble themselves very much before Hashem when they recognize all the good that God's doing for them. Vayomer, and he should say, like Yaakov Avinu is about to say in the up-and-coming Parshas, when he recognizes that he walked into the land of Lavan with only a Makor, only a staff in his hand, and he emerges after 21 years with 12 children, with 2 wives, with riches, with everything that he could possibly imagine. And he says, Katointi mikol chasadim, I have been humbled from all of the acts of kindness that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did for me. Umikol ha'emes asher asis, and all of the truth that you did with me as avdecha, with your servant. When a person looks at themselves as an eved, as a servant of Hashem, and they humble themselves before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and they begin to realize that we're not deserving of any of the goodness that we have, it's all chesed coming from Hashem, we're humbled, and we fall deeply in love with the Rebbeinu Shalom. Hashem, what can I possibly give to you, God? How can I pay back all the kindness, all the good that you've done for me? And in this way and in that way, a person will be mesim lev, they will pay close attention. V'yamik, and they will go deeper into yarchi v'machshavtai. They'll broaden their mind, machshavos taharos, with pure and beautiful thoughts. Achiz lahev libay, until their heart becomes ignited. Berishve shalheves, with the sparks and the flames of avas habari, with the love that they have of Hashem. Says the PELE YOETZ that if a person will just begin to recognize how much good they truly have in their life, how much Hashem is loading them up with blessings, with goodness, with the fine things that are needed for a person to succeed and to go forward in this world, they'll be so humbled by the Rebbeinu Shalom, they'll be so overwhelmed by his kindness, by his chesed. When a person realizes, I'm not deserving of anything, Yaakov Avinu realized that, even though that he was the greatest man of the generation, and he was following the directives of his parents, and he was one and one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but he realized that everything that he had in his life, from the smallest to the largest, was all the chesed, it was all the kindness and all the mercy coming from Hashem, and therefore he said, Katainti, I've been humbled, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by all that you've done for me. Says the PELE YOETZ, we'll speak about this further when we get to the chapter about simcha, which means happiness and joy. So simcha is the second to the last letter in the alphabet. We're in the first letter of the alphabet here. So we probably have a few months or maybe years until we're going to get to this. So keep it in mind. But he writes, Ayin Sham, take a look over there. Ki avav is simcha davar echad, who love and joy is really the same thing. And perhaps what the PELE YOETZ means is the following idea. When a person begins to recognize and hone in on all of the kindness that Hashem does with him, and he begins to see all of the details in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu is running his life, and he sees all the goodness, all the mercy, all the compassion, all the chesed that Hashem does. So a person becomes a very grateful individual. A person of gratitude begins to look at the world in a different way. His mind is always seeking and searching for the good. He doesn't see bad, he only sees positive. He doesn't see the negativity. He sees that which is good in front of his eyes. He doesn't complain, he doesn't fetch, he doesn't get into a bad frame of mind. His mind is always lucid with thoughts of goodness, of recognizing that which HaKadosh Baruch Hu has done for him. A person that is gracious, for all that is done for him, so that person is always in a state of simcha, he's always in a state of joy. He's increased his ava, his love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he increases his own personal simcha, his own happiness in life, because when things are good, a person can be happy. When we have a negative outlook on life, a person has a very hard time achieving that. When you are in love with the greatest being of the world, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because you recognize all the good that he's done, you cannot but help yourself to be in a state of joy all of the time. Be'ez Hashem. Have a wonderful day.